Wait, what are you looking at? Oh, this? Yes, it is what you think it is. Alcohol. Is it that bad? Did you know that according to a Pew Research Center poll, drinking alcohol has had no significant negative health effects on adolescents? In fact, the authors of a peer-reviewed article concluded through a statistical analysis that alcohol usage shows an increase in productive study patterns when exposed to adolescents. My TED Talks is about delving deeper into conspiracy theories set up by the media and the government and fish out the facts from the truth like this. And that, my friends, is how you manage to fool an audience. Now, of course, all that I said here was gibberish and made up. And most likely, you still didn't believe that alcohol usage is good. But what I'm willing to bet is that at least some of you thought that this is what my TED Talks was going to be about. That these facts and these articles that I presented were true. So, why do we do this? I mean, why do we trust strangers like me so confidently? And it's not just about you. In fact, it's human nature to trust. Even higher-ranking officials and government members have fallen prey to spies in disguise and enemies. Let me give you an example. In September 1938, there was rampant fear among Europeans that Adolf Hitler was going to wage war in Europe through the conquest of Czechoslovakia. So then Prime Minister of Britain, Neville Chamberlain, decided to make 3 meetings with Hitler to decide whether he was a resolute, cruel tyrant or a peace-loving, rational person just like us. And after 3 successful events, Chamberlain concluded with full confidence as he went back to his country that Hitler was a peace-loving teddy bear. Yeah. Less than 6 months later, in March of 1939, Hitler waged war in Czechoslovakia and began his conquest in Europe. So it brings us back to the question, why do we do this? But I'm not here to answer that. I'm not here to pry into your brains and see what's in there. Who knows what I'll find there? My question is much bigger and on a much more existential stage. Should we trust others? And instantly I'm seeing some faces in the audience that says no. And you are right. I mean, trust me, I'm all for stranger danger. Let me give an example of a famous US military moral dilemma that exemplifies our troubles with trusting others. In May 2005, US sent 4 Navy SEALs to capture then Taliban leader Ahmed Shah. As they landed, they were spotted by a local goat herder. And foregoing all military codes, with a heavy heart, they decided to spare him. Few moments later, the Navy SEALs were attacked, as the goat herd had informed locals and Taliban leaders. Even today, everything and everybody dons a mask, blurring the truth from reality. Everyone is deceptive. The media, the government, the news channels, your friends, your family. You don't know whom to trust. That nice guy in the back of your classroom might be the school's next shooter. Your best friend might be secretly backstabbing you. I might be an alien brainwashing you with his TED Talks. So when we come to this crossroads, we're often left with this question: what possible case is there to trust others? And to be honest, I don't have any logical reasoning to answer that. But imagine this. In a faraway jungle, someplace unknown, sometime unknown, there was a plethora of animals and plants thriving. And there was harmony in that forest, in those vast jungles with a foliage of trees and leaves. Of course, animals would hunt each other for prey and food. Of course, the animals would exploit the trees for shelter. But there was still peace among all, due to one golden rule. One rule that brought them back to civilization. That no animals would hunt each other at the lakes. So every day, animals from all across the jungle would gather near the water bodies, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the creeks, and quench their thirst. This built a sense of community. But there is one peculiar animal in that entire jungle, a squirrel, that would doubt anyone and anybody possible. Once, the squirrel accused the deer of eating itself. Another time, the squirrel accused the woodpecker of burning down her house. But one day, the squirrel crossed all limits when she suggested that the fox and other animals would hunt her at the water bodies. Despite all that the animals had to say, the squirrel was adamant. She would avoid water at all costs. She would roam around, wander in the solemn trees and woods, trying to quench her thirst. And days passed, a week passed, and the animals started taking pity on her. So they decided to nominate the jackal to take some water and cup it into his hands and present it to the squirrel. And the fox did just that. He scooped some water in his palms and presented it before the squirrel, who was on her last breath. The squirrel's body has deteriorated severely. She was on the verge of her death. And in that moment, when the fox brought her water, her joy knew no bounds. She thrusted her limbs upwards and made an effort to drink the water. But she stopped. Why? Well, she thought to herself, what if the water was poison? In some way or the other, we all are like this squirrel. We all doubt ourselves, we all worry about trusting others. We are lost in this state of eternal confusion and worry. My viewpoint is that life is not like a roller coaster. Not because of the ups and downs, but because you learn to enjoy it only when you decide and learn and understand that you have no control over it. You will be cheated, you will be deceived, and you will feel betrayed by someone at some point of your life. But that shouldn't stop us as a community from trusting others. That shouldn't stop you guys to come at these events such as this TED Talk, to listen to me, to hear me out. Because that is what makes a community. In a world where everybody is like a squirrel, trusting no one, and trusting not a single thing that the media, the government, the people, their friends, their family try to tell them, be like a small child trying to cross the road with the help of his or her mother. The child holds on to the pinky of his or her mom and doesn't care about the cars and the vehicles that are crossing by, that are rushing in the mad rage. Because that child trusts. That child believes that their mother will carry them across safely. So with this, I raise the toast, an age-appropriate toast, to a world filled with trust and many more TED Talks like this. Thank you.